Well, it was another frosty weekend here in the Borders, but all our locally based matches went ahead, including this one at Philip Hoch, Selkirk against Glasgow Hawks. Welcome to Borders Rugby Roundup, and let's begin here at Philip Hoch, Premier 1. It's Selkirk against Glasgow Hawks. 7 days ago, Selkirk took a bit of a pasting at Currie, but we're back here at Philip Hoch to see if they could extend that unbeaten home run to 15 months. Here's Grahame MacGregor.
Well, Selkirk bounced back from their drubbing last week by Currie to give us another win at Philip Hoch and their by now customary final 10 minutes of tension and drama. Tries by Scott Hendry, Rob Taylor and, crucially with 2 minutes to go, Alex Dunbar made the difference for Selkirk. Mike McVie added the extra points through the boot. No tries for Hawks, however, their points coming from penalty goals and a drop goal, but they made Selkirk fight all the way. But Selkirk remain in third place in the league.
It was touch and go at the last 10 minutes there, but our defence held up and it was good to get the win.
Certainly a very, very cold day to watch, but...
it was tough conditions out there today and a lot of cold supporters on the touchline, but they all got a good game. So
Selkirk took a while to get going, it would appear, and to give us this great usual final 10 minutes grandstand finish.
It always takes us a while to get into the games, and our discipline was quite poor today, but we kept ourselves in the game and just kept plugging away, and we knew we'd get the tries. So.
Yes, it was a hard game, a physical game. Hawks are the team that's struggling at the bottom of the league. They're really looking for the wins, and I thought they came at us strong at the beginning and at the end. We held off at the end for that 10 minutes, but we kept them out. They never scored any tries, so it's big improvement for last week, letting in 9, and all of a sudden this week we didn't let any.
Hoyk's troubles continue with a 29-0 defeat at Ayr. Indiscipline again cost them dear, with Colin Murray red-carded for arguing with the referee and 3 yellow cards dished out. But what made matters worse was that Stirling County beat Edinburgh Accies to leapfrog over Hoyk in the table, and the Greens are now at the bottom of Premier 1. Melrose were also on the road. They went to Barrie to face West of Scotland to see if they could do the double over the Glasgow team. And, of course, to see if they could get their 8th win on the trot. Christie was there.
Melrose started well at Barrie, leading West of Scotland 17-0 after 19 minutes, but ultimately had to work very hard for a 2015 win. The early points came from tries from Lindsay Gibson and David Whiteford, with extras from Scott White's boot. However, by the pause, West had pulled the score back to 17-8. When West added a converted try in 61 minutes, the pressure was on Melrose, who put in a late push for White to kick his 3rd penalty in stoppage time to button down the 2015 win.
We started well, 17-0 up in about 20 minutes, and then we went to sleep and we let them come to us, and they came back at us, and they just about sneaked it at the end. But it's not an easy place to come to West of Scotland. And to come away with the 4 points up here is certainly a good result for us. Selkirk
are still 3rd, Melrose are 4th, and as I mentioned earlier, Hoyk dropped to the bottom. Next week, Hoyk are at home to West of Scotland, while the local game of the week is at the Greenyards between Melrose and Selkirk. After the break, we've got a competition for you. You can win tickets for Edinburgh against Wasps at Murrayfield. It's happening on Friday night. It's the Heineken Cup, and it's in association with EDF Energy, one of the UK's largest energy companies. OK, here's your chance to win tickets for Edinburgh against Wasps. It's in the Heineken Cup. It's taking place on Friday night at Murrayfield. And courtesy of EDF Energy, we have 3 pairs of tickets to give away. And here's the question. Simply identify the person on the screen at the moment. He's a former Border Reaver player from Kelso. He now plays for Edinburgh, and no doubt he'll be in the side on Friday. If you think you know, send us an email to bordersrugby@hotmail.com with your name and address, and the first 3 correct entries received by Tuesday night will each receive a pair of tickets for Edinburgh against Wasps. Let's move into Premier 2 now, and over at Poynter Park, Kelso were facing Hamilton. A bit of a relegation battle this one, so vital for both sides. Laing Speirs was at this one.
There were only 2 tries in this game on a cold and frosty day at Pointer Park, but one of them was a gem. Mikaio Hartley got the ball from a scrum, found half an opening, little chip ahead, gathered well and was in under the posts. Under the other features of the game were Kevin Utterson's goal kicking, 14 points from 4 penalties and a conversion. And the Kelso forwards really took the show by themselves. They were in good form with Darren Gillespie and Stuart Laing outstanding. Hamilton, very disappointing side on the day. They managed a late try, but they're going to end up near the bottom of the table on this form.
I would say that the Forage basically won the game for us today. I mean, there was a lot of nerves the day. You could see sort of early doors. It was a touchy game, but I mean, it was a big win for us today. To be honest, it's a big month. We've got Peebles next week, which will be a very, very tough game because they're obviously going well in their home patch, and then we've got 2 home games. Big month for us to try and get up this league and get some points on the board.
In the game between GHA and Peebles, Peebles recorded only their second away win of the season. David Anderson scored the opening try on 14 minutes, with David Payton going over on the half-hour converted by Dan Botwood. 6 minutes later, Donald Anderson scored a try. Again, Botwood kicked the points, but GHA came back with a converted try late into stoppage time in the first half. A Botwood penalty after the break made it 22-7 before another converted try from GHA, but newcomer Steve Grote in his first game for Peebles gave his new side a bonus point with a 4th touchdown. Final score GHA 14, Peebles 27. Well, Gala were looking to get back to winning ways again after their disappointment last week against Biggar. They were on the road to Inverleith to take on Stuart's Melville and Bill Polson. Watch this one.
Stuart's Melville were convincing winners at Inverleith, scoring 5 tries to Gala's 1. When in possession, Gala were too often going across the pitch, whereas the home midfield trio frequently got over the gain line. Number 8, Stuart Clark, scored 2 tries for Stuart's Melville. Stephen Dalgleish and Jed Gordon also scored in the first half, while following Clark's second try, Blair Tweedy finished off a slick handling move for his side's final try near the end. Craig Parker converted his own try, earned by his energy and determination to put Gala back in contention at 10-7 down, but soon after they suffered the double blow of a bad injury to hooker Mike Christie and Clark's first try.
For the first time this season, all 4 Borders sides in Premier 2 are in the top half of the table. Jed's match at Biggar was postponed. Next week, 2 local derbies, Jed Forest v Gala and Peebles taking on Kelso. Looking at the National Leagues, Langham's game was postponed in Division 1, but Berwick travelled to Edinburgh University and went down 24-11, with Mark Laidlaw scoring Berwick's only try. Meanwhile, in Division 2, Hoyt YM made it 12 out of 13 by beating Newton Stewart 12-0, with 2 tries from Dean McCracken and Lee Armstrong. They stay 3rd in the table. Well, no games in East League 1 on Saturday, but 2 in Division 2, where Ulston stay top of the table, winning 5-3 at home to Murray House, and St Boswell's in 2nd, winning 22-0 against Inverleith. Well, that's your lot for this week. Next week, we hope to be at the Greenyards for a big local derby. It's going to be Melrose against Selkirk. Join us then.